No, that's not what I wanted.
Not what I wanted. Welcome again. Welcome to the Brothers of Legacy, my man. My name is A.D. Walker, the pusher, the grower, the motivator. I appreciate you guys rocking with us. StreamYard is, well, I can't blame StreamYard because it keeps picking up on something different. Something it's changing the sound, the audio, the mic thing. So I keep having that issue. All right. So today we're talking about what do you want to be remembered for? Yesterday we talked about having a legacy mindset, but today we want to talk about what do you want to be remembered for? And of course, we're gonna share in personal journeys as well as kind of share in what are you doing today, so that you can solidify what you remembered for. And let's see. Hey, Mama Corey, great morning to you. And Sam is in the building. Um, so what do you want to be remembered for? Because it's one thing what we're leaving our legacy, as far as what we're putting in those that are coming after us in many different spaces. But it's another thing as to exactly what do you want to be remembered for, and how, we talked about last week, folks, legacies are pretty much destroyed by the integrity that they've held when they were alive, or something happens and people don't hold them in high regards any longer. So that the thing about what do you want to be remembered for, it's and I know it matters, but it doesn't, because you're gone. So hopefully what you leave a lasting impression upon those that are around you. But digging down or drilling down, you have the legacy mindset where you are focused on what you are leaving, your next generation. And then you have the other side of it, where what is it that you want to leave? What lasting memory do you want to leave of you to others? Because that has an effect. How can I talk about you? What do you want to be remembered for? And I say that because our actions every day, the things we're into, the organizations we're part of, the choices we make, a term basically sets the stage for what you're going to be remembered for, because we never know, don't know the time, know the hour. You never know when your last day will be, your last breath. You never know when the end is going to happen. So always setting our life up, to be remembered for something great, or that dude that has been such a thorn in everybody's side that they glad you're gone. So today we're gonna just kind of dig into that a little bit. Um, Not bring the room down. We're gonna keep it positive, but it's something I want you to think about, like, and it's like, what are you really building? What are you really creating, going into your future? And it's not always just about the work, but it can be so much deeper than that. So let's see. Do that. So yeah, so today that's what we're talking about. What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to be remembered for? All right. So we're gonna dig into that in a moment. Let me just set that so I can keep the time up there and I can see. So yeah, so we're definitely gonna make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Somebody's calling me on the mystery phone. So make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Make sure you tag somebody, inbox everybody that you know, because this is a conversation we all need to have, and have that discussion. These are the things that set the trajectory of our community, and the things that we focus on. Because when you're focused on leaving a lasting positive impression, it affects what you do every single day. See how all this works together? Um, so we're gonna discuss that today. Today. So make sure you, like I said, you share, connect, let everybody know that the brothers is on. And if you're getting the text messages, hopefully you got that. Make sure you share that text message with others as well. And if you want to be part of that text community, make sure you join our community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. All right. And if you're part of the podcast, make sure you do that as well. Text LWN to 84576. So we're going to have a great conversation today, and just kind of reflect backwards as well as reflect. Well, can you reflect forward? Think forward, reflect backwards. All right, so we're going to dig into that. I want to thank you guys for being here and rocking with us. I appreciate you. Hey, what's up, Willette? Good morning. Good morning. Or grand rising. So yeah, definitely want to definitely share, connect with others, tag somebody. You know how we do. You know what we do. And that is it. And we're gonna dig into it. Pastor should be coming through possibly, but we shall see. All right. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of Brothers of Legacy. Now that everybody can hear, welcome, Pastor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
All is well. All is well. All right. So yeah, there you go. It sound like you're tapping. All right. So today, like I said, we're talking about what do you want to be remembered for. Yesterday we talked about having the legacy mindset. Today we're gonna kind of dig into, what do you want to be remembered for? And I remember some words Pastor said, your greatest testimony usually is told by someone else. Your greatest impact is told by someone else. And so this kind of falls in line with that. And I'm digging into this conversation, kind of the legacy mindset thing is, your actions today, kind of, what are your lasting impression that you're leaving for tomorrow? And we want to just kind of keep that in mind. Greetings from Myrtle Beach. Hey, Sister Yvonne. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey there. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Thank the Lord for another day. This is the day the Lord has made.
Yes.
We shall rejoice and be glad in it.
Yes. So I won't even sing this morning. I'm not going to even sing.
I will. No.
I will rejoice. All right. So like I said, today we're talking about what do you want to be remembered for? And and this is kind of in line of what we talked about yesterday, the legacy mindset. And so there's a lot going on this month. All right, so today, oh man, so Pastor, what do you want to be remembered for, or like?
Wow. Remembered for or remembered as? Because remembered for is like something that I've done. Remembered as someone that I've been.
Right.
I
Right.
want to be remembered as a
Yes.
believer,
Okay. Okay.
as a great husband,
Mm-hmm.
a great father. But again, for my family,
Right.
it's one thing. Community, it kind of runs along the same. I want to be remembered for the simple, the fundamental things: being a believer, being an example, being a husband to my wife, a father to my children, a leader to my community, a shepherd
Definitely.
to my church.
Right.
I want to be remembered as someone who walked in authenticity.
Right.
I don't want to be remembered as someone who was shady. I don't want to be remembered
Right.
as someone who was double tongued, who said one
Right.
thing and did another, or his conversation was this way over here or that way over there. I want to be remembered for being consistent, being
Yeah.
authentic,
Yeah.
uh,
I think that consistency, like good, bad, or indifferent. You're like they know
yeah.
you. Like
I'm not saying not everybody is going to love their memory of me,
right, right, right,
right? Not
right,
everyone is going to agree with everything,
right,
but I want to be remembered as someone uh, who was stable in
right,
his disposition
right,
towards
right.
life.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that that always shows with you know, what you put into your kids and you ask like, what is it that like what would your dad say? Like exactly how he stands on stuff. Like what would he say? There's few you're around somebody long enough, there are few great areas of question about someone. Like if they're consistent, like exactly how he feels about that. You know
yeah,
exactly what he would say. He'll be cool with certain things. Certain things would irritate him. These things. You know, and he will be cool as long as you're doing such and such. So
yeah.
I think that that's a huge one right there. Just that
This,
lasting impression of consistency and character. Right.
this, I
The
cherish this.
quotes.
I keep it close. I don't have it on a wall
Right.
because there are times where this goes to another room with me. Right. It's one of my greatest treasures from the church,
Right.
from the young people, because it's a picture of me and it's surrounded by
The
some of
quotes.
my phrases, my famous phrases, my
Yes.
statements,
Yes.
which validates that people know who you are and,
Right.
and what you stand for. They
Right.
understand your language, and that, there could not be a greater gift from my church community than a
Right.
gift that gives my words back to me.
Okay. Right. You right.
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 That's powerful. That's
Definitely.
powerful. Uh,
Definitely. Exactly.
so I think that's what a lot of us want.
Didn't and don't agree with Jesus, but I do. I got
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
even listen, Mother Yvonne, even today I struggle with some of the stuff with Jesus, but I'd rather be obedient,
Right.
you
Right.
know?
Wow. All right. Um, cut this down. So yeah, so that having that consistency in character, consistency in your interactions, what do people what will people say about you? You know, Definitely to me, I think that if anything, that consistency in character is really sticking to me. Like, it even listen, don't you know, like people, even the shadiest people, right? They're consistent in their shadiness. But like if you heard something, you were like, yeah, they do a lot of bad stuff, but they wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like certain
Yeah.
things you like, yeah, that's not in their shadiness. That's not part of their character. That's not,
Right. That's out of character. Absolutely.
yeah, that's out of who they are. Some people are consistent in their things and that you just like I'm not saying it didn't, but I'm just saying that's not part of what their MO. They don't usually do
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like you leave your money there, they'll rob you, but they wouldn't stick you up. Like
Hmm.
that wasn't them. I don't think that was them. So it's funny like that consistency and character, having knowing where someone stands.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning, Aunt Sam. Today from Philly. Oh, so yeah, so having that
Back in
consistency and
Philly. She's
character.
been in Arizona hanging out with my
My
mom.
mom, right, right,
Yeah.
right, right. In Philly. I want to visit that one day. One day. So it's having that consistency in character, them remembering you. And like I said, the words that you say, the quotes that you have, um, we have an old pastor that passed away in New York. I'm sure pastor has pastors or ministers that you just remember certain quotes that stick in your head that, what they would say to certain situations. And it's that having those memories, and the character and what they poured into you, makes it a huge difference. Go ahead, Pastor.
No, I'm just laughing. You made me think about Pastor Itasca Holland Sr. in Sacramento, my pastor from Sacramento, who passed away a couple of years ago. You said his famous phrase was, "I'm just like Denzel."
Wow.
Listen, he is absolutely the one of the greatest champions for Christ in my life.
Gotcha.
Right? He is the reason that I found ministry attractive.
Wow.
Right? His example is what turned me on to serving.
Wow.
In a spiritual sense. You
Right.
could do the church work. I was always
Right.
involved in the church.
Right.
But answering the call in the spirit to the ecclesiastical piece, right?
Right.
The theology of it all, he made that attractive to me through what he lived, through what he walked. And he thought he was the freshest thing since sliced bread. But he in my heart of hearts, this was a man of God, and he was a father of 4 children, 3 daughters, 1 son, just the pillar of truth, of authenticity. He was comfortable in his own skin. He meant what he said what he meant. And his adult children, all of his adult children are married and serving in his church today.
Wow.
They're all, have been around the world and back, but are today with their mates and children serving in the church that he founded in Sacramento today. And his son is the new pastor of the church in his father's stead. And it's just a great example of the evolution and generational ministry. Right. And so he will forever be cemented in my spirit. Because of a lot of who I am today when it comes to the work, my walk, are a shadow of what I saw in his example.
Nice.
He proved to me, he validated to me that you don't want to be remembered for perfection. You want to be remembered for perfecting.
Right. That's good.
Right. Never forgetting that you're in a process. No one will ever say that Brian McCrory was perfect.
Right.
But a lot of people will say that he was working on it.
Right.
That's what I learned from. And I'm saying, I know we all know that, but where did you get that from? I got it from Itasca Hollins.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely. It's those character building tools. Hey, good morning, Keita. It's those character building tools that you need to become better. And just watching, and like you said, there's always that example to want to be in ministry. Like you said, you was working, but you never really wanted to chase after God until you seen, someone else. It's seen an example, like we talked about yesterday, showing that example of not just drudging the monotony of doing stuff, but finding the joy in something, or finding some kind of purpose in it, because sometimes you get into you think life could become a drudgery.
He taught me that, you don't have to chase the approval of others. Right. So I never want to be remembered as a people pleaser.
Right.
I want to be remembered as a person who was comfortable in his own skin.
Right.
Love me or hate me. I think you will appreciate me.
Right.
And the value that I bring. I want to be remembered as a valuable asset, a valuable resource.
Right.
Even if I don't have the answer, that I'm willing to try and help you find it.
Right.
Those are the things that I want to be remembered for. You'll never, people won't say I was perfect.
Right.
That people will acknowledge, people see
Right.
clearly I'm flawed.
Right.
Clearly.
Right.
But clearly I'm saved.
Right.
Clearly.
Right. Definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
And I'm comfortable with my flaws because I'm confident in my salvation.
Right. Right. Definitely. I think that, it's so funny that that perfection, it's I don't know, like anyone that walks in a perfection, it's like, how are they approachable? Like it's like I feel like I'm just so much lower. Like you just seem so perfect. It's like, how could I hang around you? Like, and then in that, if you feel like you're perfect, just like how do you, you can't hang out, you can't show anything because it'll show some level of flawed nature. Keita said, I was that as well, a people pleaser, but I have learned that it will hurt you more than you expect or willing to experience. Indeed.
Absolutely. Look, can we put that up in lights? Can we highlight that? Is there an online highlighter?
Definitely. Definitely.
It's a tough lesson to learn. I'm just gonna say amen to that, Keita. If I had okay, let me
pull it back.
Just leave the comment there.
All right.
You're about to take me there.
But yeah, that people pleasing, boy, it'll send you down that path because and you realize you can't. It's impossible to do. It's impossible
because you can't be consistent.
Yeah. Right. That's good.
Your word is only as good as the last person you spoke to.
Right.
Right. And a lot of you on here have seen that play out. You got some people with their personality, they say one thing over here, another thing over there. You have to be the last person that they spoke to. Right. Whatever's true is because of the last person they spoke to.
He said, don't forget.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget you over in that room.
Hey, listen, that's a testament to my example.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
So she learned from my example. Amen. Thank you for validating that I've been delivered.
I've been delivered. Oh, so yeah, it's that people pleasing. You're right. That's deep. That's deep because every conversation we have is not. I didn't say that. What I said was, so, no, I didn't exactly say that. What I said was,
yeah. There's an actress, Kate Hudson.
Okay.
Kate Hudson, who is the daughter of Goldie Hawn,
right?
The stepdaughter of Kurt Russell,
right?
Kate Hudson's father, I forgot his name, Bill something or other, who was with Goldie Hawn before she met Kurt Russell.
Right.
Kate Hudson has a brother, and what Kate Hudson says, she said on Kurt Russell's 70th birthday, she gave him all these accolades on his 70th birthday, and she said, basically, and I'm just paraphrasing it, it doesn't matter how other people see him. I know how I have seen him. I know who he has been in my life. Right. And she said, I'm going to give him these flowers today. She said, I haven't said a whole lot about him in his life, but the fact that he turned 70 years old today, I'm going to say it today. Wow. He's been a father figure. She said, the greatest thing he ever gave me was a feeling of self-confidence. He created an environment that pushed me to be confident, to be comfortable, and to see myself as a hero.
That's good.
Right.
That's
and
good.
I'm saying, like, this is what she's saying about this guy, and her father is alive, has been alive her entire life. Right. He was just estranged, and it was by choice.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
Goldie Hawn says, when I saw him with my children, I knew everything was okay because it was just a natural fit for him. He looked comfortable. Right. And so now, all these years later, Kate Hudson says that there was an environment that allowed me to pursue me. Right. And so I want to be like, and I look at that, I'm like, wow, that's interesting. I want to create an environment that is nurturing, that is conducive for growth around me, for the people who are, I want the people connected to me to be able to grow in an environment that I have developed. That's the thing. If you are better having gotten to know me, then I've served my purpose.
Right.
And I want people to say, Brian McCrory always pushed me. He always put me in an environment that was nurturing for my growth, because I'm always pushing people.
Right. Definitely. Always. Richard said, Pastor Brian, I want to be remembered for one, my time as a carer for my parents, the compassion, service, kindness, duty. Two, my kindness for my humanity, my personality. Three, doing my best. Although I'm saved, I was as confident as pastor reading the Bible. Maybe not as often as I should, but at times hear the Lord to feel the Holy Spirit and on me, and other times not so much.
But that's perfecting.
Yeah.
See, you're in the process. You're working on it. That's wonderful,
Definitely.
Rich.
Definitely. So yeah, definitely in the process, perfecting, getting better, being consistent in your character. And if your consistency isn't the best, well, let me change that. If your character and your consistency, you want to do better, then consistently do better, get into a better space, even ask. And it's a tough question. Like, if you ever just ask, what do people see? How would you describe me? And then ask for honesty, even if you do it private. If you want to know, do a self-check. What do you see? And be prepared for a real answer, though. Don't ask them not to gloss. Ask them to give you the real, like all of it. Keita said you also have to understand that sometimes your growth is not at the same speed as those you are learning from, but keep pushing to increase growth. Yeah, indeed.
You know what I love about that statement? Who can measure it anyway?
Right.
Right. And I love what she says here, because we do get caught up in trying to measure something that is immeasurable.
Right.
How can you grade your growth rate with someone who you feel is ahead of you in the game?
Right.
You don't know how long it took them to get to where they are.
Right. Definitely.
Right. What has taken me 30 years might take someone else coming behind me 5 years, 2 years, a month. You just never know. Right.
Definitely.
So I love what she says there, because that's one of the greatest travesties to your identity crisis.
Right.
Is when you make the mistake of trying to compare yourself to someone else, and it negatively impacts you. Right. It's wonderful to have targets, have goals, have people that are examples of what you're trying to get to, but never measure how long it takes.
Yeah.
Because you're not the master of time.
Right.
God is the master of time. God owns time.
Definitely.
Right. And we have to remember that. And so the only thing we can do is to continue to move forward.
Definitely.
Right.
I think sometimes when it comes to, especially when it comes to personal growth or personalities and certain traits, like I think sometimes you can't take like a whole person and say they're ahead of me, because though like one person may exhort the Bible and preach it a certain particular way, you're like, man, if I could deliver, with just such ease in my own personality, just like that, but you don't know the other side of their life. Like you don't know the other struggles that they're having personally with their personal growth. And they may see you and like, man, if I could just have that patience that the dude got, like how he just so cool over everything, it's like you can measure, I believe, like measure certain things like, okay, I would like to get to the point where I'm comfortable preaching like that, not doing exactly what they do, but just comfortable. I would like to have, if I could just have some of that patience, but in measuring, like, I want to be like pastor, like,
no,
right. Like,
no, you don't.
See, so it's like, just because this is what you see, you don't know some of the other struggles that are going on.
It's like trying to compare yourself. You're on an airplane and you're trying to compare yourself to someone in first class and you're in coach.
Right. Whew.
Both of y'all gonna make it to the same destination.
Right. Right.
Right. And here's what's funny.
Oh
This is
God,
what I
I know
realized.
what you're about to say too. Good.
No, you don't. Watch this. Because I have a testimony, I have a revelation about first class versus coach. My wife, actually, when I got the revelation, my wife was recording me on video and she actually posted it on social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about, what I learned about first class, and I realized that a lot of us are flying through life in coach when we could be in first class. Right. And but I'm like, first class is great, but I never thought anything about it because I'm like, well, look, if the plane goes down, you're gonna hit the ground first. Right. And then I realized, and I'm like, we're gonna land at the same time, even if the nose of the plane tips down first and we land, you may land a second before me, but we're still gonna get to the same. The record will show that the plane landed at 7:37, which means we all landed at 7:37.
Right.
But if you really want to get into the technical details of it, and you're complaining about coach, when a plane goes to land, the nose has to come down in order for the plane to lower to drop in elevation.
Right.
But before the plane lands, the nose has to come up, and the rear wheels touch first, and the last shall be first. Right.
Right.
I mean, if you really want to get into it, but
get deep into it.
I'm going all the way around the world just to come back to, I'm long-winded. I'm a preacher. No, I'm just kidding. But what I'm saying is, why compare yourself in coach with someone in first class when the only difference is the amount of leg room you have?
Right. Ooh, okay.
Right. You're
True.
you're both going to the same destinations. If we all trying to get to heaven, does it really matter how long I've been in this race versus how long you've been in this race? The only thing that matters is that you're in the boat. You're in the ark of safety. That's all that matters.
That is true. That's true. We're all going to get there. Good morning, Ashley. Thanks for rocking with us. Let's see. He said, bam. He said, Pastor's glowing. He got the glow. Yep. Okay. Classic movie. So yeah, definitely having that consistency, having, building your character, not comparing to others, not watching other people's lanes, but just building your own character, becoming better, choosing the personal fights that you have to get better in certain spaces, knowing what your goal is, what is it, and that's why I asked the question, what is it that you want to be remembered for? And if there's certain things you like, if I can erase this part that they're going to remember me for, you can't erase it, but you can correct it, change your patterns of habits, the consistency, like, you used to do this, but I haven't seen you do this in 3-4 years, so kind of shift it. So that's it's kind of reflection. I know most don't want to think about when they're gone. Some just like, I'm gone. But what are you leaving behind? Keita said, remember when Christ asked the disciples, who do you say that I am? Everyone answered, but only Peter spoke. What thus said the Lord? Can you imagine the thoughts the others had, or the envious spirit? Oh yeah.
But that's what, what's so powerful.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that.
The power behind that statement is everybody else said, some say.
Right.
Peter was the one who said, this is how I, based on my experience, my relationship, this is how I see you. Right. And that's so powerful. Are you living off of what everybody else is saying?
Right.
Or off of what you're walking?
Right.
And I'm saying that's one of the, and that's like when it comes to being in ministry, you talk about what you want to be, AD, what you want to be remembered for is not the rumor mill.
Right.
You want to be remembered for your walk, what people know about you, not what they heard about you.
Right.
That's good. That I know you to be a great husband, a great father, a man who walks right before the Lord. I know you to be one who's persevering in his walk with Christ. I know you to be one who's trying to perfect himself in Christ Jesus. I know you to be one who continues to work to provide for his family. I know you to be one who wants to be a great example for his children. This is not what I heard. It's what I know.
No.
It's what I know.
Definitely.
Right.
Yes,
And your family knows that even deeper than I do.
right.
You know, and so what I love about that statement is the challenge we have in the church. A lot of people are going to church. A lot of people are doing all these things because somebody said to do it.
Right.
You understand?
That's true.
I try to get my family, my children to serve the Lord because of who God is to them.
Right.
Who he is for you, not because I said so. When you're 4, you go because I said go.
Right.
But when you're 40, you go because you love the Lord.
Right.
You understand? You do because you love the
Love
Lord.
the Lord. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And it's so funny that you say that. Like, I'm trying to transition my kids into that, like to really see it, like we're doing a devotional and talking and just I want, them to start building that relationship. So like when I can't drag you, you're compelled. Like, you want to go yourself. It's funny. When my mother drove a witness, and I remember, I think I was 17, 18, the day that she asked me to go out with her. I was like, did she just ask me? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
said, you want to go?
Would I like to?
What do I want to go? Then I said, I was like, do I want to go? I will say,
Since
listen,
you asked.
I was like, this might be a setup. I'm gonna go ahead and go. Excuse me, guys. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely, what you're leaving and how you are training and teaching. It said, Aunt Sam said, I want to be remembered for many things right now. One is a woman of integrity, love, grace, and balance. Indeed. Indeed. So yeah, we're having this conversation, just kind of setting forth, what is it that you want to be remembered for? Some of the things that, like Pastor said, what will one person say, who do you say that I am? And not what you heard, or some say, but who do you say that I am? Who do you remember me for? All of us, always wonder, like, do you get a glimpse of your funeral? if you had one, just like, what would people say? How would they remember you? Or what do people remember you? What stories are people going to tell that have stuck in their mind more than anything? So it's just those moments, and that's the life, that I would want to have lived. As much as success, financially and building something great, it's good. It sounds great. But to me, that the lasting impression is, what impression am I leaving upon people, personally? It's great to build a mechanism or a system that changes lives, but it's another thing to personally have impact on others. So that's my goal. Just to, what is my personal impact on others, and how have I helped others? Not just served or done or given, but how have I helped? And that's kind of been my personal goal for a while. It's just, and so we are, and I bring this season. It's this season where, with COVID, and we've lost so many people so rapidly. Just happenstance, and folks that seemed like they were healthy enough to survive it, and things happened or went wrong, or whatever. So just some of the things, just kind of think about that. What do you want to be remembered for? What impact are you having? Or are you just kind of going through the motions of the day? Every day, oh, it's Monday. Oh, it's Friday. Oh, it's Monday. Or are you enjoying what God has given you? You woke up this morning, you took a breath. That's huge. So what are you doing? What is Tupac said? What are you doing with your 24? He said, we got the same 24 hours. What are you doing with yours?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always a thought. What do you want to be remembered for? So I just, wanted to just kind of dig into this. Like I said, we talked about being legacy minded yesterday. Today, talking about what you want to be remembered for, and like Pastor said it best when he talked about being a people pleaser. You know, Keita came in as well, being a people pleaser. So it's not about being a people pleaser, you know, having a different face for everybody. But it's all about the consistency and character, having a genuine heart to help, you know, and helping is hard sometimes. And what I mean by that is, yeah, you need, but I got to give you the truth.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm gonna help you, but this help is gonna come with a little pain, you know, because you need to change certain ways. You need to shift out of your old thinking. And that happens a lot, you know, and though I hate it when I hear it, I appreciate it later. You know, like sometimes a no is the best thing you need. Like, no, it's like, nah, I gotta figure this out some other way. You know,
Yeah.
like, you know, when that well dries up, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna create, you know, how can, you know, now I need to focus on the one that's created it all. Like, okay, God, what is it that I need to do? You know, it's those moments.
One of the great moments in my life when I got hired at my company that I work for now in 2006. I had been working for the company for, I don't know, seven months or so, and we had a national sales meeting in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and our keynote speaker, you know, we'd go up there, we'd go to Atlantic City for a week,
Right.
and on Friday we'd have a keynote speaker. Bro, how you doing, Mark?
Mark?
And that year, 2007, our keynote speaker was Keith Harrell, one of the motivational speakers from back in the day. He passed away in like 2010.
Right.
And he had this term called super fantastic. He was the super fantastic enrichment speaker. But you know, like I was known, like when I greet people, if it's Monday, I'm like, happy Monday, you know, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday, whatever. You know, my wife took it to another level. Happy motivational Monday, happy terrific Tuesday. You know, she started adding those, she started building these phrases together. But I was known as that guy that whatever day of the week it was happy that day. And so it got to the point where people would see me, they'd be like, happy Tuesday. You know, they try to beat me to it. And I'm like, oh, I'm rubbing off on people. So we get to the keynote speaker, and we're in this big auditorium in Atlantic City. And this guy, Keith Harrell, is up there, and he's very interactive. You know, he's got these T-shirts, these hats and stuff, and he's throwing them out to the crowd and everything with people who are engaging with him and all of that. And at the end, he said, I want to call somebody up on stage. He said, I want to call somebody up on stage whose energy I have been watching the entire time that I've been up here on the stage. Right. His energy has been like a magnet to me out there. And I mean, there's like 600-700 people out there. And he says, you right there, the bald head guy. Right. And he's pointing to me. Wow. And I'm sitting around a lot of my coworkers, people from my, you know, because we're the Atlanta Alpharetta office, right? Right. And he asked me to come up on stage. He said, because this guy's energy has been a magnet for me. He said, man, I want you to know you have motivated me up here on the stage just by your energy. Wow. And what I could hear as I was coming up on stage was the people who from office like, that's the right one. That's him. That's the guy. You got the right, you know, and you know, it felt better to me that they endorsed it, right? Than it felt him feeling it from the stage. It's amazing that he felt it from the stage, but the fact that my coworkers were saying he couldn't have chosen a better person, right? You know what I mean? I mean, it just blew me away, bro. Right? And so after that, I became super fantastic. This is back when I used to work in the office, and somebody made a sign to put super fantastic and put it up on my cubicle and all that. And what I'm saying is, you know, you want to be remembered as energy. Right. You want to be remembered as positive energy. You want to be remembered as an individual who had an impact, who changed the scenery when you came on it, when you came on the scene. That's how you want to be remembered. And hopefully it's in a positive light. Right. You know, you want people to speak well of you, but you know, I heard one man say, when I die, I'm not leaving anybody anything. They sure enough gonna remember me.
He said, not a darn thing.
He said, I'm gonna make sure they remember me because I ain't leaving nobody nothing. You know? So
Oh man, that's hilarious. That's
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. So
But,
you know, it's important to be. Hey, my Aunt Jackie's on here. Vicky Hall. I'm sorry, y'all. She's been Aunt Jackie my whole life.
Gotcha.
She is another person who I know is remembered, will always be remembered for her energy, just like my Aunt Sam. These
Wow.
are people who are high energy people.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
my Aunt Sam, you see the butterfly, that she is a living, breathing, walking butterfly. You met my
Right.
Aunt Sam,
Yes.
AD.
Yes.
She is an absolute walking
Yes.
butterfly.
Yes.
And so that and so you want, and not everybody's going to agree with it. Not everybody's going to like it. Some people are going to
Right.
envy your energy.
Right.
You know, I'm not saying that you have to go into every room and, you know, become the the ball of explosive energy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that whatever you have, whatever you're projecting, someone is going to feel.
Right.
And the
Definitely.
question is, are you going to have an impact? And that's what's real. And so when you're comfortable and confident in yourself, when you know that you know that you know,
Right.
when you're purpose driven, you know, you're going to exude an energy that is going to be received by people. It's not going to be accepted by everybody, but it's going to be received by a lot of people. So that's all I'm saying is you want to be remembered as a person who could shift the energy in a room. My wife preached a message a couple of years ago about the difference between a thermometer and a thermostat.
Right. Yeah.
Right. One tells you what the temperature is in the room, and another can change the temperature in the room.
Definitely. You want to be that one that sets the pace, sets the thermometer, sets the temperature, because it's important. We need people like that, you know, because when things are crazy, things are a little hot, you need someone to be able to cool it down. Things are a little cold, you need somebody to be able to warm it up, you know. I've been it's been in services that are just like, you know, you kind of like having to push your way through and like, oh, all right, Lord, let me just try to clap my hands and get myself all warm. And then someone gets up and they just light the room up. You know, like they it's like their voice, and they're just so in sync with the choir, the director, the band, you know, the people playing, and it just boom. It's like, all right, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm forgetting about all the stuff that's going on outside right now.
Right.
Let's go.
Right.
So
there's those, and then there's those who don't need to wait for the music.
Right. Yeah, they coming
right?
on fire.
Yeah.
Just fire.
Yeah.
Just
I came in here like this.
Right.
You know.
Trying to get a worship song. Yeah. You're like, okay, well, go and get it yourself then. Go and get it yourself.
Yeah.
Oh man. So thank you, nephew, for validating my energy, because you are so right. I have met so many people, even in my workspace, that has been very jealous of who I am. But this is how God made me, and I'm grateful and thankful. And I review pride. See, Aunt Sam's one of them people where you dragging in on Monday. She like, hey, good morning. Like, oh, here you go.
Yes. And you be like, oh Lord.
Like, I'm trying to be low energy.
The truth is, in 98% of the case, percent of the times, is because they wish they were able to do it.
Right. Why are you so daggone chipper every morning?
Right. And what was my message 2 weeks ago? You just don't know.
No, right.
Sometimes you just don't know. You don't know what it took for me to get to this place. You don't know what I've had to crawl through. You don't know what the Lord has brought me from. How dare you try to discount my energy because you don't know. Right. You just don't know.
Right. Definitely. He said at the end of my statement,
I'm ready to take off.
Yes, indeed. Let's see. You Aunt Sam made me feel full of life when I encountered her this summer. It was amazing. Yes, indeed. Energy.
Other people tell the story.
Right. Definitely. So we appreciate you guys rocking and hanging. Speaking of other people tell the story, make sure you tell everybody about the Brothers of Legacy. We are on every morning, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to thank you guys for being here. Sorry, just still a little stuffy. Thank you. Thank you for hanging and rocking with us. Make sure you share, join our text community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. Never miss a broadcast. I want to start calling this something else. This is like the community Brothers of Legacy community corner or something like that. Just the community village coming together, discussions about life and everything, all the ups, downs, ins and outs, and having the hard discussion that we need to have in order to move our community forward. All right. So if you haven't shared yet, if you haven't told your peoples, all of the thousands of friends that you have, make sure you do so, as well as go to the Facebook page, hit that invite button, hit select all, and pick everybody that's part of your friends list so that they can be a part of this crew as well. It should be the BO. There we go. A BOL Power Center. That's what I'm talking about. He said, Wilco win on Friday? Nope. He is relinquished his crown from last Friday. Sam has the crown right now. He says, show you right. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate you, Mama McCoy, for always supporting and being here. On Sam, you as well. Thank you for rocking with us. Richard, appreciate you, Richard. Always look forward to seeing you coming. I didn't see any comments. I was like, where is my man, Rich? So I appreciate you guys being here. And Keita, thank you so much. I might hold that. The BOL Power Center. Aunt Vicky, because I'm claiming you too. Rejoicing this morning and grateful for the opportunity to hear you guys this morning while working. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, man. Thank you, Auntie.
Listen to BOL while you work. All right. So we appreciate you. Thank you for rocking. Thank you for hanging. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for supporting. As always, we appreciate you. Continue to stay safe. Know that we love you. God loves you more. And listen, tonight, make sure you watch the Sisters of Legacy. The Sisters of Legacy, where they're always dropping some gems. And if you feel like you might miss that notification, you might not see it, make sure you join our community. Text LWN to 84576. And it's Tuesday, tonight at 7. Pastor Brian A. McCory Sr. will be in the building preaching or teaching Bible study. So make sure you check that out. You don't want to miss that. All right. It's love you guys. You just don't know how you kept me going during the pandemic, darkest days. Man, Richard, I appreciate that, man.
Appreciate you, man.
That. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We need some encouragement as well. Sometimes you're like, are they really with us? So, all right, guys. We look forward to seeing you guys same time, same channel. See you in the AM.
I'm in the car now.
Peace out. As always, we love you. Know that God loves you more. Stay safe. Thank you guys for rocking, hanging, being. Make sure you're sharing is caring. All of my replay peoples that watch in the background that I know see this show, I appreciate you as well.